What use is it? Once upon a time, in a small town in Germany, there lived a family of 7 children with their 2 parents. The family was not very well off. The father worked at the post office and earned very little. The mother, however, had come from a rich family and saved wisely. She was kind and looked after her children very well. The only problem? She was very stingy. She just didn't see the need to buy something if it wasn't of use and had made the habit of asking, "What's the use of it?" The 7th and youngest child, Hansi, was a very sweet and lovable child. She loved to play and dance around, but her mother's way always made her sad. All the children in the family had grown up to believe in things just being useful. All except for Hansi. Soon it was time for Christmas, and all the children were very excited.
These pies will taste amazing!
Mother, let's have a chocolate cake too, shall we?
Socks for Jamie, a new school jacket for Ellen. Perfect, everything the children need.
I'm mainly excited about the bright and beautiful Christmas tree.
Hearing this, the children became even more happy.
Mother, when will you get us the Christmas tree?
What? Oh, so this year I thought there really isn't any need for a Christmas tree, you know, so we won't be having one.
What do you mean? Darling, you cannot be so miserly as this. We will definitely buy a tree, and that is final. He walked out, leaving the wife very annoyed.
It can be Christmas without a tree.
She still thought herself to be correct and decided she wouldn't buy a tree. Her husband, though, thought that she must have been joking. Surely she couldn't be as harsh as that. He smiled, knowing she would get the tree. The children were simply heartbroken at this news. Hansi was the most affected by it. Over the days, they became more sullen and unhappy as Christmas came closer. Their father was too busy to notice, but their mother did and started to feel bad.
Should I really get the tree? No, it isn't of any use.
And in this way, she convinced herself and didn't think any more of the tree. The day before Christmas, Hansi was very unhappy. She was returning from school and had really been looking forward to a lovely Christmas tree full of pretty lights and tinsels.
It isn't fair! Well, if Mummy won't get the tree, then I will.
And instead of going home, she went to the woods, determined to get the best tree there ever was. She soon reached and started looking around for a tree. She saw a tree that had fallen down and tried to pick it up, but she was too small to pick up the huge tree.
Oh dear, this tree really seems perfect for us. I wish there was someone who could help me.
Just then, a huge squirrel came out of a tree hole. It looked at Hansi, who was surprised. It hopped over to her.
Hello, Mr. Squirrel. Oh!
The squirrel hopped away and offered a nut.
Is that for me? Why, thank you. Oh!
The squirrel started to laugh, and so did Hansi.
Oh, you naughty squirrel. Listen, could you find me someone to help me carry this huge tree?
The squirrel looked at her and shook its head.
Oh, please. I'm sure you are a nice squirrel, aren't you?
The squirrel shook its tail and smiled. It stood on its 2 legs and called out loudly.
Oh, what are you making that sound for?
He was calling for us. For us! For us!
Hansi was delighted to see so many dwarves. She guessed correctly that the squirrel had called them to help her carry the tree.
Well now, I hope you have some pretty decoration to hang on this tree.
Oh, no! The ones we have are broken, and Mummy didn't buy any new ones.
That's such a shame. Well, we can't have that now, can we? No, we can't. Let's make her some. Squirrel, help us too, would you?
So Hansy watched as the dwarves and the squirrel collected the acorns, pine cones, and berries from the woods. They put strings at their ends so they could hang from the tree.
Now let's carry all this over to your house, shall we? Up, up.
Hansy laughed at all this. She happily trotted at the side of the dwarves as they carried the heavy tree easily on their back.
Hansy, you are the 7th child, and you live on the 7th street, right?
Oh, how did you know?
We know all. We also know that number 7 is lucky. So that makes you a very lucky child. Do you know what 7 times 7 is?
I don't. I only know twice of 7 is 14. But what is it? We haven't learned that in school yet.
7 times 7 is 49. Remember that, as it is very lucky.
Meanwhile, Hansy's mother was extremely worried. It was near to dark, and Hansy still hadn't come home.
Oh, she usually goes to her friend's house. How silly of me. I guess she'll return soon.
Hansy was most happily hopping around as they walked and carried the tree through the forest. All the little wood animals looked out from their hidey holes and waved at the passers-by.
Aw, cute! Bye-bye, little bunny!
They soon reached her house, and by now it was evening. It was also starting to snow.
Well, let's start decorating the tree, shall we?
And how they decorated the tree. The squirrel jumped from branch to branch, hanging up the pine cones and acorns. The dwarves took the berries and magically turned them into beautiful bright red candles.
The tree looks lovely!
And indeed it was. The dwarves and the squirrel had done a grand job, and the tree now looked amazing.
Well, we must now go back to our homes.
Aw, must you?
It's going to be Christmas soon, and we want to be with our families. Well, bye-bye, Hansy. Hope to see you again one day.
That night, the family waited for the father to come home. The children were very unhappy since the tree wasn't there, and their mother was sad seeing her children unhappy. I'm home, my darling family. Why is everyone so unhappy, except for Hansy? Oh, honey, about the Christmas tree. The mother was overwhelmed with guilt after seeing her children so sad, and she now completely broke down.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't get the tree because I didn't feel it would be of any use. I'm so sorry.
What are you talking about? I saw the lovely tree outside. Oh, is this supposed to be a surprise? A very weird one, though. They all looked at each other and ran out. Everyone was simply amazed to see the magical tree. The pine cones had turned silver, and the acorns had turned to small golden bells. The candles were burning bright, and there was a little golden star shining at the tip. Well, this is really the most wonderful Christmas ever, isn't it?
Yay!
Yeah!
Yes, it is.
The mother didn't know how the tree had come there, but was thankful for the Christmas miracle. By looking at her happy husband's and children's faces, she realized the wrong she had done and promised that she would never be miserly again. The next day, the Hansie had told all her brothers and sisters about the dwarves and squirrels. They went spot in the woods with a huge cake to thank them.
But how do we call them?
Oh, they taught me something that would be lucky. Maybe if we say it again and again, they'll come out. It was, 7 times 7 is 49.
The children were confused, but said it anyways. They went on and on saying it, but the dwarves and squirrel came out. The children very happily gave the cake and thanked dwarves and the naughty squirrel. On kids returning home, the mother hugged all her children. She realized that there is nothing more beautiful than the joy of seeing her family happy. After all, Christmas is all about spending time with family, sharing, and caring about others. After all, the squirrel taught Mother a lesson.